Thank you. Hello, everyone. It's my pleasure being here today, and it's even a greater pleasure for ProCredit Bank supporting this tech festival, the main tech festival of the region for several years now. And it is because we really believe that tech and that we as individuals, as businesses and as institutions should know, should learn and should discuss regarding innovations and what is happening in technology nowadays in order to be in the forefront of this digital environment we are living on. You probably would ask yourself what a person responsible for business development in a bank is doing in a tech festival. Well, let me tell you that it's exactly the interaction and the cooperation between IT and business that made us achieve what we have today. And we are the leading SME bank in the country for several years now, working with SMEs in Kosovo and not only financing and giving loans to these customers, but also innovating and bringing them the latest services online. Now we proudly say that all of our SMEs do 100% of their transaction via our digital channels. So our main principle is that we partner with SMEs, and we want these SMEs to be our house bank clients. What we mean with this concept is that we want them to not only bank with us, but to discuss and to develop together with us. How we do it is that we do it now by discussing and telling them about what is happening out there and how should they expand and even reach not only regional businesses or SMEs, but also businesses in EU market. That is why we have decided today to talk and to speak about a very successful SME and how this journey brought them here. During these years, except being the SME bank, we also had our digital approach. So we invested a lot in this regard, and despite being the first bank in the country and the first bank that introduced cards and also ATMs and cash-in ATMs during these years, we also were the first bank that had 100% of business transactions via online channels, and also still developing and trying to bring new innovative services for our SMEs. But for SMEs, this is only one part of their operational processes and internal things that they digitized. So it's just a part of them. They have a lot of other processes, be it in production companies or other companies, that they have to invest in or develop in order to be there and to be competitive today, not only in Kosovo, but also outside Kosovo. And that is why we think that we, together with our partners, with EBRD and other chambers, can serve as a bridge between SMEs and the ICT companies in order to bring them to bring them in this journey, in this digital journey that we are already in. And for that reason, we discussed and we know something about what is happening out there in Kosovo, but still we wanted to see, and we, together with the German Chamber of Commerce and EBRD, we supported a research made from Reinvest Institute in Kosovo, because we wanted to have figures and to know where do our SMEs stand in regard to digitalization. And it turned out to be that our SMEs have a digital index that is calculated based on some questionnaires of European Investment Bank. Our SMEs are at about 32% digitalization index in Kosovo, while digitalization index in other SMEs, in other business sectors in states like Bulgaria and Croatia, it stands at 60%. This tells us a lot, and this tells us that we have a lot of things to do in order to bring them at this point. What we found out also based on this research and on the questionnaires that we made with more than 500 SMEs in production sector in Kosovo is that the SMEs that were exporting, which is one of our business objectives, were the SMEs that had invested more in digitalization and that had some processes digitized already. Also, as expected, businesses that are high-end medium or high-end small, so they are bigger, are the businesses that have invested in digitalization. But are we ready for this digital journey? Are our SMEs ready for this digital journey? And are there ICT companies in the country that would help them achieve this? Is what we will discuss today with the panelists and our main partner in this regard. So I'm very happy to ask to join me Leonora Kusari from EBRD, which is one of our main partners, Kreshnik Shehu from Shehu LLC, which is our house bank SME client in production sector, in wood sector, who will share the great story of Shehu, and Arber Bakija, last but not least, the person that represents today the ICT company and the ICT sector in Kosovo. I say last but not least because since, as I discussed in the beginning, so it was business and IT that brought us here today. And still, we think that without the digital business strategy, without the business, the culture of innovation, the staff engagement, and also the customer engagements in the digital journey, we cannot move forward. But all of this depends on the IT and technology that we have and we can use. Thank you and welcome. We will start this conversation with Shehu, with Kreshnik. He will share with us the story of Shehu LLC, which is a great success story in regard not only to production and in wood sector, but also in export and latest also in digitalization.
First of all, thank you for opportunity to be part of this session. For me, it's not so easy to speak in English, and I will do the best to tell what I wanted to tell in Albanian. And I'm going to translate from Albanian in English, and it's not all what I wanted to say because I'm not so good in English. First of all, growing or success of Shehu LLC was made with different small steps and small decisions. First of all, in 2002, 20 years ago, we have made a decision and step to focus in one product, to produce not like a traditional producing wood processing to produce everything, but just to focus in wooden stairs. And we have make specialized in this product, and after that next step and the decision is to invest in CNC machinery in 2008. When we have making that time investment in CNC machines, it was not easy because we have bought this machine or we have find money to buy this kind of machine, but it was not enough to have money and to buy this kind of machine. We needed to have installation, maintenance, and also to training to teach how to operate with this kind of machine. And what we have done. After that, next step was investment to be a supplier of, real supplier, domestic supplier of CNC machine, and we have opened SIMA Kosovo in 2014, and we have, bit by bit, we are now the main supplier for wood working machinery. And we was able to make installation, everything, but even it was not enough. And we have see how to teach the employer of the companies who has make investment, and we have opened Shehu Academy. And after that, we look forward, we need digitalization. And we have investment, we have make investment to have, first of all, Corpus. It's one software who is able to make all from drawing to production with one step. And we have done a lot in wood industry. And after that, after the COVID, it was the step to make digitalization of process inside in the company. And after that, we have, with the help of EBRD, we have contact with Bbros, and we have started one cooperation. And now I'm so happy to present, to tell you, we have a very good platform, very good software who can help all the producers to manage all the process, all the steps of the process in production. That is a short story. If I translate in Albanian, maybe it's going to be longer, but it was necessary to speak in English. I have done the best, but okay.
Thank you, thanks a lot, thank you. And now Arber maybe will tell us regarding the investments in digitalization that Shehu did, and not only Shehu, but how do you see the SMEs in the market?
Okay. Thank you for inviting us to the panel. When we started the company, we wanted always to be a product company, and we always went toward that goal. We have done some software services in the past, and we still do. But when we met with Shehu, with Kreshnik, first time, I remember he still like teases me sometimes that in the first meeting he came with a list with a big idea, and I said everything, yes, we can do this. And he was surprised. He was saying like always that, are you sure? There are some that are with some people that he met before. He said that some are some kind of not doable, let's say. And I said, no, these are easy, like these are piece of cake. And I said that because with the past experience that I have, and we have been working with different apps, with different mobile platforms, web platforms, that we have done most of it or we had experience behind it. And when he came with the idea, we discussed it in more details, and we came up with the solution. Let's do it together, do it as a partnership, because it's you cannot hire a company just to do the app and then the platform and then change the company or stuff like that. Like I suggested, let's do it together because it's much better, much long-term partnership. It's better to have. And we started to work. It has been like a lot of, let's say, pain a bit together, like frustration, coming up with ideas, having a lot of bugs sometimes. But at the end, as we see it now, we sometimes discuss it and we say that if it wasn't for those frustration, for those late nights, we couldn't come up with this idea, the final one that we came now. But that we couldn't do without the help of EBRD, because during the process that we were doing, we needed some help from, let's say, organization or someone, and both of us, we thought, our mind went to EBRD, especially Leonora, and we asked for help, and she was eager to help, and without any hesitation, she's a big part, let's say, a process that we have now, a platform that we have now. She gave us a big help on coming to the goal that we had in mind, because without financial help a bit, we couldn't achieve what we wanted. And today, I say that as we are doing tests and stuff like that with different team, both teams are ICT team and wood production team. It's a very interesting cooperation. I'm not saying me and Kreshnik, but the teams together. It's an interesting story because both teams are growing and learning things that outside, let's say, outside the box. But it has been a great road and a really interesting road. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Then Leonora from EBRD, who we all know Ez will tell us what are these instruments and programs that SMEs have or can be supported by EBRD.
Thank you. And I'm not providing financing, but donors are providing finance. And yes. So I'm not the investor. So what EBRD does, we have several instruments. So our focus is to support companies on building capacities and providing advice how they can grow and develop further. And how we do it, it's a company, we go and analyze the company needs. Then we see what is the most important thing that can be done in order to develop further. We match them with the consultants, with local, regional, depending from the specifics, and we subsidized part of the cost. So this is while we support the companies to be better, to build their capacities. In another hand, we build capacities also of the consultants, because we enable increase of the demand, and with the demand comes also the tailored advice and new services and new products. So I think as an institution, we are supporting both supply and demand side in order to increase the competitiveness, which is the main goal also, or the main objective of the programs that have been financed by different donors so far.
Yes, thank you. Then again to Shehu and his story of production and tell us a little more in regard to the IT tool that you are testing now. So you invested in this tool, and soon you'll be able to know each step of the production cycle, right? And then just remind us, and also hopefully the word will be spread to other SMEs too, that was this an investment for you, or was it a cost? So how do you consider the investments in IT tools and digitalization in general?
First of all, it's investment, and it's good investment because it's investment for the future. And I'm telling it's not necessary to make this kind of investment tomorrow or after tomorrow. This kind of investment must done yesterday, because the future is through digitalization. All the production must be digitalized, and we have invested this kind of tools, digital tools, and this kind of tools has helped us a lot, because we can show the production, each steps in real time. Even if one person it's in, for example, one customer is in Germany or in Switzerland, the customer can show the steps, what is it's 60% production done, or 70 or 90, or is in transport. That it's a kind of platform what has helped us a lot as a production to show and to manage all the steps from customer, registration of customers, offers, agreement, after that putting in production until after sales service. It's every step is interesting, and it's necessary to have one company and to show the data, because if you have all the data, you can project the future, you can project investment, everything. With this kind of software, what we have done together, what we have developed together, is done with a joint together mentality of production and mentality of ICT sector. Because this kind of job is not possible to do alone. And for that reason, I think, and I'm sure by myself, we have done the best platform, best software for this kind of lean management, because we have joined together all the time, all the steps, and we have done together. And I think if we are able to show our products, for example, some of our clients in Germany, for example, or in Switzerland, are not just one-time customer, it's partnership. They're going to show all the time where is his product. It's not necessary to make a phone calls and to spend the time and money, because as we know, time is money. And even in transport, he can show where is the product. It's not necessary all the time to send email or even to call directly. And for that reason, I'm so happy, and I think we're going to share with all the productions. And what is more interesting, we have lose the time and we have spent nights and days to be platform flexible, not just for wood sector, to be for all production sectors. And for that reason, I think we're going to invest even more to develop even another models, and to be one to go to the perfect one.
Hopefully, yes. Thanks a lot. Data and analysis, like Kreshnik mentioned, is very important in digital transformation. You cannot, as an SME or even us as a bank, we couldn't make a decision without basing it in data or historical data that we had. And this is what is important. And Kreshnik was saying that now in his company, because he invested in some software 7 years ago, now he has data and he can make analysis even for his customers' needs or wishes for 7 years. And based on the research that we did, and also what we see in Kosovo nowadays, is that there are not a lot of SMEs that really can have historical data or can have access to this kind of things. And it is a very important part of the chain. Leonora, based on your experience and what you see and you discuss with SMEs, how do you see the future? What should we do as a part of this society and the economy in order to help SMEs or businesses digitize?
More money to support. No, really, the digitalization came as a necessity because the companies are growing, the companies are exporting. There is a need for accuracy, for not only the products, as Kreshnik is mentioning, but also the information. So you cannot do that by hand. So we need to the SMEs need to include the digitalization or digital tools in their business operations, not only on the production side, but also on the management side. So as the companies are growing, and we are seeing also huge development, at least in my view, last 4 or 5 years, and especially with pandemic time, has accelerated the need to further support the companies on this, let's say, investing in the digital things. Why they need support is because the investment is costly. It's not only in terms of the money, but also in terms of the time spent and etc. So and companies usually have the priority is given more to the, let's say, to quality of the product rather than doing the, let's say, investments on digitalizing their processes. So that's why further support is needed so they can capture and invest also in this part. Because otherwise we cannot speak about competitiveness of SMEs if we do not or if they do not invest in this. What we can do more, besides incentives in terms of the grants, let's say, incentivizing them. Also, I think as banks, we need also to provide more funding to ICT sector, which was very low so far, and as the companies, also ICT companies are growing, trying to accelerate also alternative instruments rather than loans that we were providing so far. So in terms of the equity, bringing mezzanine products and etc. So we can support both first the ICT sector on developing new products and new services, but also the companies by incentivizing them to accelerate this part. We have also a program that we started 3 years ago for ICT companies, supporting high potential startups that they want to go internationally in the market, but also in the regions. As EBRD, we are in 36 countries of operations. You are the same as ProCredit, you have a large base. So I think we need to also capture this part of B2B between our clients, or trying to expand also in other regions rather than Europe, which pretty much all ICT companies are focused on.
Yes, thank you. And Arber, we as a bank, as an SME leading bank, as I said, we have the SMEs, but can you tell us your perspective of what can SMEs look for in ICT companies in Kosovo? So what tools do your company, Bbros, and other IT professionals that we see here offer, and what is capable of the Kosovo market of ICT developing?
First, I would go, the mindset needs to be changed a bit, because as we know in production in general, there is a slight mindset saying that I know what I'm doing, but we cannot get away from digitalization. Independent of what kind of business you are or what kind of production type you are. But there are a lot of tools that can be developed from different companies, ICT companies, that can help and optimize a lot of process in the production, or as we say, the wood production companies. We started this platform, but it's just the beginning, what we have planned for it, and we are where we want to go, or our final goal right now, as we think. And there are a lot of tools, we cannot count them, but there are a lot of tools that can help a lot of production companies, optimize the process, or as Kreshnik said, that many clients can know where is their project, the percentage of their project. Is it on the way? Is it half done? Or what is going on? But I think both sectors, either ICT or production, the mindset needs to be changed. That's the primary thing. Because also, me as the ICT sector, we have done some other tools for production in the past, but when we started doing these tools, we weren't taking it serious. And I think that's pretty much a setback or a bump that we need to move forward in thinking how we can change this way. If this happens, I know that the sky is the limit.
The limit even for SMEs in Kosovo.
Yeah.
We hope so. So we all agree that digital transformation and digital strategy is the main word. And we see that we have ICT companies here in Kosovo that will help SMEs achieve a higher digitalization index that we saw here. And this was the story of SMEs and ICT, and what ICT can do for an SME. And the story and the ecosystem was here in the panel. So we as a house bank of Shehu and Bbros, when they needed transactions and financing, and also visiting and discussing some of the plans that they had, Shehu that achieved efficiency and increased competitiveness, and nowadays is exporting 80% of his sales. Bbros that is investing and developing tools and applications for SMEs in Kosovo, and our EBRD who is there always to support us with advising and technical assistance. Thanks, thank you.